Jubilees, Chapter 10. Noah's sons led astray by evil spirits, Noah's prayer, Mastema, the death of Noah, and the Tower of Babel. This is the 10th chapter of a 50-day journey through all 50 chapters of the Book of Jubilee. If you missed part 1, please click on the link in the area underneath this video. Here you will find the link to the playlist that has all the videos. In the 3rd week of this Jubilee, unclean spirits began to lead astray the children of the sons of Noah. They confused them, blinded them, and even sought to destroy them. The sons of Noah went to their father and told him what was happening, how demons were causing his grandchildren to stumble and perish. Noah prayed to the Lord his God, saying, "God of the spirits of all flesh, you who have shown mercy to me, you who saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, you who did not allow me to perish with those who were doomed, your grace has been great toward me, and your mercy has preserved my soul. Let your grace now rest upon my sons, and do not let wicked spirits rule over them, lest they destroy them from the earth. Bless me and bless my sons, that we may increase, multiply, and replenish the earth. You know how the watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my days. As for these spirits that still live, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, so they may no longer bring destruction upon the sons of your servant, O my God. For these spirits are malignant, created only to corrupt and to destroy. Do not allow them to rule over the living, for you alone have dominion over all. Do not let them have power over the children of the righteous now or ever again." The Lord heard Noah's prayer and commanded that all the spirits be bound. But the chief of the spirits, Mastema, came before God and said, "Lord, Creator, let some of them remain under my authority. Let them listen to my voice and carry out my will among men, for without them I cannot accomplish my purposes. The hearts of men are wicked, and I must have spirits to lead them astray and corrupt them until the day of judgment." And the Lord said, "Let 1/10 of them remain with you, but the other 9 parts shall be bound in the place of condemnation." Then one of the holy messengers was commanded to teach Noah all the medicines of the earth, for God knew that men would not walk uprightly. The angel revealed to Noah the remedies for diseases, the ways to heal with herbs, and the cures against the seductions of evil spirits. Noah wrote all these things down in a scroll. He gave this book of healing to Shem, his beloved son. In this way the spirits were restrained from harming the children of Noah. Noah lived 950 years, 19 Jubilees, 2 weeks and 5 years. He was buried on Mount Lubar in the land of Ararat. Among all men he excelled in righteousness, second only to Enoch, who was taken for a testimony to future generations, to record all deeds until the day of judgment. In the 33rd Jubilee, in the first year of its 2nd week, Peleg took a wife named Lomna, the daughter of Sinah. In the 4th year she bore him a son, and he named him Reu, saying, "The children of men have become wicked, for they plan to build a city and a tower in the land of Shinar." The people moved eastward from Ararat into the plain of Shinar. There they said, "Let us build a city and a tower whose top will reach into heaven." They began their work firing bricks to use in place of stone, and binding them with asphalt drawn from the sea and from the fountains of the land. For 43 years they laboured. The tower rose to a height of 5,433 cubits and 2 palms. Its walls stretched for many stades, vast and towering above the plain. The Lord came down with his messengers to see the city and the tower. He said, "Behold, they are one people, speaking one tongue. Now nothing they plan will be impossible for them. Come, let us confound their language so they will not understand one another's speech." So the Lord confused their tongues. The builders no longer understood each other and abandoned the work. The city was left unfinished, and its tower brought low by a mighty wind. For this reason the place is called Babel, for there the Lord confused the language of men and scattered them into nations. The tower was thrown down between Ashur and Babylon, and the people named it Overthrow. In the 34th Jubilee, in the first year of its first week, the people were dispersed from Shinar into their cities and lands. Ham and his sons moved into their southern inheritance, but Canaan looked at the land of Lebanon and the river of Egypt. Seeing that it was rich and beautiful, he chose it for himself. He ignored his lot toward the sea and dwelt instead in Lebanon, stretching from the Jordan to the coast. Ham, Cush, and Mizraim rebuked him, saying, "You have settled in a land not given to you. This land was not your lot. If you remain here, you and your sons will be cursed. You have entered by rebellion, and by rebellion you will perish. You will be uprooted forever. Do not live in the inheritance of Shem, for it belongs to him and his sons." But Canaan did not listen. He stayed in Lebanon from Hamath to the river of Egypt, and his children remained there until this day. For this reason the land is called Canaan. Meanwhile, Japheth and his sons moved toward their portion by the sea. But Madai looked upon the land by the waters, and it did not please him. He asked for a portion from Elam, Ashur, and Arpachshad, his wife's brothers, and they granted it. He settled instead in the land of Media, near his wife's kin. From that time the place was called Media, after his name, and his descendants dwell there to this day. Jubilees. Chapter 11. From Ru to Abraham and the corruption of the human race. In the 35th Jubilee, during its third week, Roy took for himself a wife named Orah, the daughter of Ur, son of Kesed. In the 7th year of that week she bore him a son, and he called his name Serug. In those days the sons of Noah began to turn against one another. They made war, taking captives, shedding blood, and even eating blood. They built walled cities and towers. Men began to exalt themselves, and the first kingdoms were founded. Nation rose against nation, city against city, and all the earth was filled with violence. They forged weapons and taught their sons the art of war. They captured cities and began selling men and women as slaves. Ur, the son of Kesed, built a city and called it Ur of the Chaldees, naming it after himself and his father. There men fashioned molten images and worshipped them. They carved idols and unclean figures, and malignant spirits led them deeper into sin and corruption. The prince Mastema worked tirelessly in those days. He sent out the spirits under his control to corrupt mankind, leading them into bloodshed, destruction, and every kind of transgression. For this reason Serug was so named, because in his days everyone turned aside into wickedness. Serug grew up in Ur of the Chaldees. He too worshipped idols. In the 36th Jubilee, he took a wife named Melka, the daughter of Kaba, who was of his own kin. She bore him a son, and he called his name Nahor. Nahor lived in Ur of the Chaldees, where his father taught him the ways of divination and astrology, reading the signs of heaven according to the Chaldean traditions. In the 37th Jubilee, Nahor took a wife named Ijaska, daughter of Nestag of the Chaldees. She bore him a son, and he named him Terah. In those days Mastema again struck the earth. He sent flocks of ravens and birds to devour the seed from the fields, destroying the labour of men. Before they could even plough the land, the birds came and carried off the seed from the surface of the ground. For this reason Terror was named, because the ravens and birds reduced the land to famine and left the people destitute. Year after year the trees bore little fruit, for the birds devoured it all. Men struggled to keep even a small portion for themselves. In the 39th Jubilee, Terah took a wife named Edna, the daughter of Abram, who was of his own family line. In the 7th year of that week she bore him a son, and Terah called his name Abram, after the name of his mother's father, who had died before the child was conceived. As Abram grew, he saw the corruption of the world. By the age of 14 he understood that all men had gone astray after idols and uncleanness. His father taught him writing, but Abram chose not to join him in idolatry. Instead he sought the Creator of all things, praying that he might be spared from the sins of mankind. When the time of sowing came, Abram went out with the people to guard their seed from the ravens. A great cloud of birds came down, but Abram ran before them and cried out, "Do not descend, return to the place from which you came." And at his word the ravens turned back. That day he turned them away 70 times, and not a single raven settled in all the land where Abram was. All who saw this marvelled, and Abram's name became great throughout the land of the Chaldees. From that year onward, farmers called upon him to help during the sowing. They sowed their land, and for the first time in many years they gathered enough grain to eat and be satisfied. In the first year of the 5th week, Abram taught craftsmen how to make a device for the plough. It was a vessel fixed above the frame, where the seed could be placed. As the ploughshare cut the earth, the seed fell down into the furrow and was hidden in the soil. The birds could no longer see it. From that time, men built these seed vessels on their ploughs according to Abram's command. They tilled the land without fear of ravens, and their fields brought forth abundantly. This concludes chapter 10 and 11 of the Book of Jubilees. Remember to subscribe and join me tomorrow for the next chapters, as we keep walking through all 50 chapters of the Book of Jubilees.